Oh, Godfathers. Oh, God, what a nightmare. What a nightmare. Good evening, darlings, and a very warm welcome indeed to Saturday Night Live. I hope you've had a really good day. Hope you're enjoying your weekend. Oh, God, what a bloody rush. I've literally had to just run in through the door. Bloody customers. Oh, I mean, we love them and we value them, and God knows we rely on them, but they can be a pain in the ass. Some of them. Some of them. Right. I'm going to break with tradition, darlings, and I'm just going to have a slurp of wine because I really need it. It's been a busy one, darlings. Oh, it's been a busy one. Cheers, your very good health. Bottoms up yours, etc. Here we go. Oh, how I needed that. Wine, do your thing. Oh, oh, oh. Thank you to 10 people who have already clicked like. I haven't even emptied my pockets. What I'm going to do, darlings, I can see you've been awfully busy in the comments. So I'm just going to, I'm going to dive into the comments, I am. You all know the score. Tell me how your day was. Tell me what you've been eating, or just tell me anything that you want to talk about. I'm all ears and I'm all yours, darlings. And first cab off the rank is Lord Stiff Upper Lip. If I leave here tomorrow, would you still remember me? Oh, right. This is, I think we're doing song lyrics again, aren't we? I don't know this one. For I must be travelling on now because there's too many places I've got to see because I'm as free as a bird now. Oh, well, we would miss you terribly, Lord Stiff Upper Lip. The fabulous Peter P is with us. Good evening, Boaty and Honourable Boggs. Yes, good evening, Honourable Community. And indeed, the fantabulous Peter P. Jimmy Quinn is here. Good evening, Boaty and all. Oh, Barry's here again. Oh, fabulous. We love Barry. That guy from SETI Alpha 5. Hello, all. And Karen's here as well. And hi from me. Simone is here, Hooked on Classics. Hi from over here. I'm already horizontal in bed. Hope you're doing all right, Simone. Oh, it's raining, says Barry, so we couldn't get out on the bikes. We went to the strip where the bars are instead. Well, that's very sensible. And Karen says, yep, it's peeing down here. We have a lakefront chalet. Oh, Karen and Barry have got a lakefront chalet that they're staying in. You open the door onto the lake itself. Well, hopefully there's a boat there or something. We would show you, says Karen, but the mist is horrible. That's posh, says Simone. Peter P wonders if there are any tractors there, and Barry says, no tractors. But Karen says we've got 6 at the farm. Any cider apples? Asked Simone. Oh, Beer Fest is in Herman in a few weeks, apparently, says Barry. I could do with a beer, says Simone. Oh, do you really? Karen says we have a German quarter in Missouri. So Beer Fest is a big thing. Is Boaty late, asked Simone? Yes, I am. I'm sorry. I drove like a bat out of hell. Oh, seriously, bloody customers. Had it's in tomorrow's video. Had a late delivery, as is the driver had gone home. So I thought, right, I'll do it. I'll do it on my way home, 40 quid delivery. Bit of a trek out in Hege is the name of the place. Hege. Heage, for those of you who know the area. Get there, bang on the door, nothing. Bang on the door again, nothing. Bang on the window, nothing. Bang on the door, bang on the window. Shout through the letterbox, not a sausage. Ring them up to find out what the hell's going on. And the phone just went to voicemail. So I thought, well, bugger you. It was a paid order, so I just tied the bag up and left it outside the bloody door. I don't care if the foxes eat it. We don't ask much from a customer. We cook the amazing food. We take it right to your front door. All we ask is that you open the bloody front door. So if they can't be asked to do that, then tough. There'll be a complaint. There'll be a complaint and it'll be our fault and they'll do a charge back. The way it always goes. Oh, we were in all night. We were in all night. Your driver's lying. You didn't really turn up. Honestly, we get it all the time. Well, we don't get it all the time, but we get it. We do get it now and then. I quite enjoy it sometimes. I can assure you that your driver is lying. He was at the wrong house or he is lying. We've been in all night. Well, I actually delivered it myself. I know your house very well. Your car is blah, 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 registration number, blah, 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 blah. And I can assure you that I was standing outside banging on your door until my knuckles hurt. Now, is there anything else I can help you with? No? Well, oh, dear. I'm more of a spirits drinker, says Barry. And then Barry breaks into song. No, he doesn't tell a lie. He breaks into, it's a bit of poetry, I think, darlings. I like a bit of poetry. Do not go gentle into that good night. Old age should burn and rave at close of day. Rage against the dying of the light. The wise men at their end, no, dark is right, because their words had forked no lightning. They do not go gentle into that good night. Good men the last wave by, crying how bright their frail deeds might have danced on a green bay. Oh, rage against the dying of the light. And so on and so forth. Oh. Grave men near death who see with blinding sight, blind eyes could blaze like meteors and be gay. Rage against the dying of the light. And you, my father, there on the sad height, curse, bless me now with your fierce tears, I pray. Do not go gentle into that good night. Rage against the dying of the light. Dylan Marlice Thomas, darlings. Can't beat a bit of that. Barry, says Simone, I used to drink Tia Maria, white and dark rum, and Pernod, but not all together. A very good evening, Boaty, and everybody, says Andrew Buttigieg. Good evening, Andrew. Hope you're doing okay, mate. I like vodka, says Barry. Oh, me too. Generally, Stolly. Oh, Barry, me too. Oh, Stolly is Stolichnaya, darlings. A Russian vodka, or there is a Ukrainian version. And when I lived in Ukraine, then a bottle of Stolly was cheaper than a bottle of Coke. I kid you not. I had to leave there for the sake of my liver. When I was there, you could get a bottle of Stolichnaya and a packet of fags for about £1. Yeah, my life expectancy was shortening with every day I spent there. And Barry also likes whiskey. He's a Glenfiddich and Jameson's man. Gin for me, says Peter P. Oh, mother's ruin. Karen likes Bacardi and tequila. Uh, Gin is what should be in a martini, not vodka, says Barry. Oh, there you are. God, the only night I mixed and drank martinis, vodka martinis, I remember being, God, I was so sick. It didn't go well. I thought I was James Bond, and I ended up just spending the night talking to Huey and Ralph on the big white telephone. My past tipple of choice was Jack Daniels, says Andrew. That is a tipple of choice at the restaurant. They love Jack Daniels. A full bottle will go into the kitchen at about 9:30 on a busy service, and the empty bottle will go in the bin at about 11:30. Try Knob Creek, says Karen. Simone says, I never liked JD. I don't mind JD, says Barry, but it's too sweet for me. And Karen says, try Knob Creek. It's a bit drier. Not as bad as Southern Comfort, which we used to call, Weinberg. Southern Bumthorpe, of course. And I've admitted that quite recently in a live stream, I admitted to going through a phase where I drank Southern Comfort and lemonade in nightclubs with the sleeves rolled up on my suit jacket. No doubt I looked a complete twat, but, it was the days of Miami Vice. You could get away with it then. Finlandia is okay, says Barry. I'm more of a Stolly or Smirnoff drinker. My vodka of choice when I had money was Grey Goose. I absolutely adore Grey Goose. And I quite like drinking, and whichever vodka I have, I like to drink it straight from the freezer. Because if you've got a decent vodka, you can leave it in the freezer for a year and a day, and it won't freeze, darlings. Only the cheap vodka will freeze because the alcohol content is too low. And if you want to drink vodka in the traditional Ukrainian and Russian way, and I would recommend that you try this, then you take your vodka from the freezer, pour it, and then put in cracked black pepper, sprinkling cracked black pepper. Sounds weird, actually fantastic. Oh, and neat from the freezer, cracked black pepper. Sounds weird, I know, but honestly, try it. The reason for the pepper is traditionally in Russia and Ukraine, then vodka is often distilled at home or on the bar. I remember the bar that we used to frequent in Kyiv had a range of vodkas on the bar, all of which were distilled on the premises. But back in the day, I'm sure it's not true now, probably wasn't true when I was there, but go back in the day when vodka was distilled at home, it used to get mixed with fusel oil and other impurities. And if you put your black pepper into the vodka, then somehow through some sort of chemical reaction, it takes the impurities down to the bottom of the glass and the pure spirit remains above. So you can throw down the vodka and you're getting the spirit and none of the impurities. And I think they just got used to the taste of it with the pepper, to be honest, and kept up that tradition, even if they were drinking a nice stolly straight from the bottle, which would obviously have no impurities at all. And in fact, there's a fact about vodka for you. You will get less of a hangover with vodka than you will with pretty much any other spirit. Certainly any dark spirit. Generally speaking, the darker the spirit, the worse the hangover. But even in terms of clear white spirit, vodka is the best. And the reason is it is filtered through activated charcoal. And again, that removes some of the impurities that would exacerbate a hangover. Not cause the hangover necessarily. Hangovers are caused by dehydration. The brain becomes dehydrated with the alcohol, which is why if you want to avoid a hangover but you want to have a drink, my absolute top tip to you, drink water. Don't do the thing when they say, oh, drink a pint of water before you go to bed. I mean, do that rather than do nothing. But honestly, if you want to avoid a hangover fully, alternate your drinks. So have your alcoholic drink and then have a glass of water and just keep alternating and you will be fine the next day. I promise you. And the other thing about vodka that if you go to Ukraine, you should know is there is a charming tradition in Ukraine. Now, they're a wonderful people, the Ukrainians. Now, I've had a big old argument today on Facebook. I run a Facebook group. I launched and I run a Facebook group to facilitate sponsorship of Ukrainians on the Homes for Ukrainian program through the UK government. So the group is designed to facilitate sponsors meeting people needing sponsors, and it's worked very well. There are Ukrainians living in my local village thanks to my group, and it's done quite a lot of good. I'm passionate about Ukraine. I lived there. I was engaged to a Ukrainian girl, and I very much feel their pain, and I wanted to do anything that I could to help. I'm getting into so many arguments with bloody UK people who they've never been to Ukraine. They don't know what's going on. They read something on the internet or see something on YouTube, and they think that all Ukrainians are trying to come to the UK to steal our benefits and rape our women. All of that crap. I hate it. I hate it. Now, it has been quite well documented that some people have had problems with offering a temporary home to Ukrainian families. There is one documented case of a rape, and there are a few documented cases of theft and so on. But with all people, you get that. The vast majority of sponsorships have been happy and successful. You just get, as always, the negative Nancy's, the doomsayers, have always got a louder voice than the people who've just said, yeah, it's fine, really good. We enjoyed it. It was a culturally enriching and morally enhancing thing to do. But anyway, the Ukrainians, who are a lovely people, have got a charming tradition. Now, if you were to visit Ukraine, I probably wouldn't recommend it at the moment, but when the unpleasantness is over, I would recommend that you visit, and you will find them to be on the whole, a kind, friendly, and very hospitable people. And it is perfectly normal for somebody you don't know and have occasion to meet for the first time, very casually, like just passing in the street or something, then it's perfectly common for them to invite you into their home. And then this is where the tradition kicks in. When you are invited in and accept the invitation to enter a home in Ukraine, then they, as the host, have one duty, and you, as the honoured guest, have another duty. Now, the host's duty is to open a bottle of vodka. And this is crucial. It must be an unopened new bottle of vodka that they open for you, the guest. If they offer you a vodka from a bottle that was already open and had some of the contents drunk, that would be an insult. it should be a brand new bottle of vodka. That is their duty as a host, and that is how they honour you, their guest. However, you, as the honoured guest, also have a duty, and your duty is you do not leave that home until the bottle is empty. To do so would be an insult to your host. So it's an interesting tradition. I think it's basically just I think it's just an excuse to get permanently rat-assed. Um, I don't know how much things have changed. When I was there, alcoholism was a big problem amongst Ukrainian men. You remember the old mail order bride thing? Probably still goes on. I don't know. And the general feeling is that yeah, they want a passport or they're after your money or something like that. In the case of Ukrainians, it wasn't true. Now, my Ukrainian fiance Lena, her friend, oh, I can't remember her name. But she had a friend who ran whatever it was called, a wedding agency or a marriage agency or something like that. Which it was the old mail order bride thing, although that's a bit of a misnomer. You know, they would introduce Western men to Ukrainian ladies. The men would, they'd correspond. Then the men would go to Ukraine and then meet and blah, 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 see if they get on, all of that shit. I actually helped her out a couple of times doing some translations, writing it in better English. Oh, and I hasten to add, no, that is not how I met the lovely Lena, very obviously. Very obviously. I wish I could remember her name. Oh, Elena. Elena, I think it was. She was a nice lady. Lovely house. What was I talking about then? Why am I talking about that? Oh, yeah. And, the general conception is that, yeah, they just want a money or a passport or whatever. Not actually true. What they wanted was a husband that wasn't pants-wettingly drunk every night, because the majority of Ukrainian men were. So that's what they were after. Ukrainian women tend to be amongst the most beautiful women in the world, certainly amazing homemakers. They invariably incredibly fit and active. I don't know how it is now, but certainly when I was there, you don't see any fat Ukrainian women, none at all. They're all in amazing shape. And they exercise and they cook amazingly well and they eat amazingly well and they're incredibly house proud and they really look after their men and they're very loyal. Again, I know these are all generalizations. Whereas the men, lovely as they are, were just absolute bedwetting alcoholics who were absolutely trousered almost continually. And that was why a lot of the Ukrainian women would seek Western men, not for their money, not for their passport, simply because they tended to be slightly less alcoholic. Oh, a telephone call. Why is this still so quiet? I don't know. Put you on speaker. Good evening.
Good evening, Mr. Boaty.
Oh, it's Sophie. Hello, darling. I must save your number.
Bless you. How are you?
I'm fine, darling. Absolutely fine. How are you?
Oh, bless you. I'm good, thank you. I've had a really lovely day.
Good.
Literally today I've just been sorting out, obviously, cleaning the house because we've had our friend round with her little one.
Oh.
Bless him. As he's got his christening tomorrow, which we've got to go to the church because we were invited to his little christening party afterwards as well. So yeah, it's been a night. So we've cooked them tea to save them cooking tonight because obviously we're doing a lot tomorrow and obviously tonight. and they've just not long left. So
that's very kind of you.
It's been a great night, and Neil's cooked his curry for us.
Oh, bless him.
But no, how are you?
I'm absolutely fine, darling. Absolutely fine. Feeling, not feeling 100%, but feeling better than I was yesterday. So that's got to be good.
Oh, great. That's good news. I'm glad you're getting on the mend then, slowly.
Yeah, it's about bleeding time, isn't it?
I know. It's a nightmare. But no, I just thought to give you a call to see how you are and how's your day been.
Oh, you're such a blessed puppy. You're such
you
a
need to
blessed
save
puppy.
my number.
I do. I remember that it was you that called, and I shall add it. I don't know why I haven't got your number.
I don't know. I'm not sure.
I think it's probably because it's normally Neil, isn't it? But I will save it after this telephone call. Well, after the live stream, anyway.
It's okay. Neil was like, "Who's that? Who are you speaking to on the phone?" I was like, "Boaty." And he was like, "Oh." But no, we have got a friend as well that currently wants to get to know you as well. His name's Henry. So if you give him a shout out on your live, say hello to Henry.
Hello, Henry. I've heard a lot about you, my friend.
He said, "Hello, Henry." Mr. Honourable Reverend, he said that they call you. But no,
he's the guy. He's the guy that went on holiday with you, isn't he?
It was the guy who went on holiday with us, yes.
Yes, I remember him.
Yes. He doesn't stop speaking to Neil. It's like they're a married couple. Can't get away from them on the phone sometimes.
Oh, blimey. Well, if
it's not in the bath, it's on the toilet. If it's on the toilet, it's in the shower.
Oh, dear God. Dear God. Oh, well, that frees you up. At least it's not misering you.
But no, everyone's all right, and I'm glad that you're all right, though.
Oh, that's good. Good to know. Always lovely to hear your voice.
Oh, bless you. I'll let you carry on, and I'll speak to you soon.
All right, sweetheart. Take care. Love to all of you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
You said love to all. Yeah. Said bye. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Ah, the lovely Sophie. Where did we get to before I went off on a ramble? Ah, Simone finally had a decent meal today. Fish and chips, no less. You need to take better care of yourself, Simone, says Karen. I think I'd agree with that. Andrew, oh dear, I think my brother has kept Smirnoff afloat with all of the products he buys off them. Yeah, it's booze is a wonderful thing until the balance goes all wrong, isn't it? It's it's fine that when you control it, but if that balance just slips and it controls you, then it's not a happy situation, as anybody who listens to the Archers will know. And let me remind you, you all have a duty to listen to the Archers, which is the community soap. Oh dear, Simone's had a stressful week and tends not to eat when things go wrong. And Andrew is familiar with that feeling. And Karen says, yeah, it's kind of the worst thing that you can do, but yeah, understandable. I mean, it is psychosomatic, darlings. It is psychosomatic. When your mind is troubled, then it tends to go to two areas of the body. One is the stomach. So when your mind is troubled, you will perhaps lose your appetite, or you will get a case of a long case of the Barcelona squitty quits, something of that nature. And I think a lot of people are familiar with that. But what people may be less familiar with is, again, when your mind is troubled, it can go to your back, and you can have really severe chronic back pain, which won't be explicable on a physical basis. The doctor will say that there's nothing there. The chiropractor will say that there's no obvious problem. And that is because it's psychosomatic in nature. And the mind is a wonderful thing, darlings. If you have you'll have heard of the phrase, "That's a weight off my mind." Yeah, you'll all have heard of that, I'm sure. So think about that, then often when you have a problem or problems, then that is a weight on your mind. Yeah. And the reason that that phrase comes around is because it's literally true. And the brain takes it very, very literally. So when you've got problems on your mind, when you've got stress, when you've got this, that, or the other, then the brain can and often does literally interpret that as a weight. And so the brain sends the signals to your back that you are carrying a massively heavy weight, and your back will become painful. It will go into spasms because all pain is generated by the brain. It's not generated in the area where the pain is, it's generated in the brain. And it's there as a warning, really. So if you touch something hot, then the sensation goes to the brain. The brain, in a millionth of a millisecond, sends out pain because the brain senses that you shouldn't be touching that thing because it is going to being hot. It's going to damage your body. But the pain doesn't come from the hot thing burning your finger. The pain comes from the receptors in your brain sending that signal out to your finger that, ouch, this is painful, danger, so that you stop damaging your body. Without that receptor in the brain, you could hold your hand over a flame until your hand burnt away and you wouldn't feel any pain. The pain is in there, not there. And so that's often why you get back pain when you've got stress, because the brain will slightly misinterpret the fact that you're effectively emotionally carrying this weight, and it will register with the brain as a massive weight. So the brain will slightly miscalculate and send out the signals to the back that you're carrying too much weight, and that is the signal of the pain. If your back genuinely hurts physically because you're carrying something that's too heavy, that's your brain sending a signal out saying, look, you're going to damage your body if you continue to do this. I will send pain to stop you from doing it and therefore stop the damage. And that's what it's doing when you've got that massive worry on your mind. I find that sort of thing fascinating. And hence the phrase, a weight off your mind, because you will find that when an emotional issue or weight on your mind is taken away, you will find that there are physical benefits as well, because your body is just a thing that your brain controls. Your body isn't this, that, your legs, all of your body, none of it is sentient. The only part that is sentient is the bit in between your ears there. And the rest of this, your brain has to try and look after, because you wouldn't know. You wouldn't necessarily, this hand wouldn't know that it can't touch a door handle in a fire, because if it does, then the hand's going to be really damaged. Your hand doesn't know that, but your brain does. And your brain has to get your hand to react in the way that it needs to. So it sends pain. And that's how it works. That's how it all works. Same with illness. Then the brain sends that pain to alert you to the fact that some part of your body is ill. And that's how painkillers work. They reach the receptors in the brain and turn them off, so that the brain doesn't realize that whatever part of your body is hurting, and it doesn't send those pain messages. I find it fascinating, but maybe that's just me. Now then, where did we get to? Oh, that's nice, Karen. A group hug for everyone who's had a crappy week. I second that. Stratospherean is with us. That's lovely. Jimmy Quinn saying hello to everybody. Barry says I'd make a video of the bikes bit, but seriously, the rain is so bad, everyone's staying indoors, and it's as musty as hell. Boaty's running late, says Andrew. Must have missed the big yellow bastard bus. Oh dear. Yellow buses are wrong, and says Peter P. Oh, Sean is here, the lovely Sean, and he is tucked up in bed with a hot brew. Oh, that's pretty much the right place to be, I would say, Sean. Hope you've had a good day. Evola's Sunglasses is here and says, hi, everyone. Dramatic, says Carl Burton, apropos of nothing. I had a run-in with Stagecoach out of Chesterfield a few years ago, says Barry. Wankers. Yeah, we will see. Karen says, hi, Sean. I couldn't help but hear you say you had sleep apnea. Do you use a face mask? Oh, a CPAP. Yeah, I was talking about this on the live stream the other night, but we ran out of time, didn't we? There are recent tests have shown that one particular epilepsy medication is very effective with sleep apnea. So that's quite exciting because sleep apnea can be, really quite dangerous and certainly destructive personally. At the very least, it can lead to. Somebody's done it. What's this? John Stoodley has been a Momo and Chutney member for 9 months. Good man, John. Thank you. Hey, Boaty and chat. I'm slowly getting there. Keep up the great work, mate. Thank you, John. Great to hear from you. Thank you for checking in. And thank you for 9 months of top tier Momo and Chutney support. I really appreciate it. But yeah, the sleep apnea thing is quite exciting because, at the very least, you're going to get disturbed sleep. You're going to be tired all the time. Blah, blah, blah. Can be distressing for a partner if you share a bed with somebody, all of that sort of thing. In the worst case scenario, it can lead to, horrible things, heart failure and stuff like that. And CPAP does not suit everybody, not by a long chalk. Some people find it terribly uncomfortable. So if this epilepsy medication works and you can completely get rid of the symptoms of your sleep apnea simply by popping a pill, that's got to be a pretty exciting step forward, hasn't it? As far as I know, it's not something I suffer from myself. But for those that do, I would imagine that they will be quite excited about this latest medicinal development. I mean, there are going to be further tests on it to roll it out and see if it's as effective across the board as the first test suggests. And also they need to check it out for side effects and stuff. Another phone call, darlings.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir. How the devil are you?
Not too bad. I noticed a bastard bus driver at your vehicle.
Yes.
Yes, did you manage to get in touch with the company anyway?
The offices are closed today. I sent them a WhatsApp. So presumably they'll respond on Monday when they're open.
Because years ago, I actually stopped the bus driver for driving past it in the vehicle. I jumped on the bus.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and said, aren't you going to leave your details? And the bus driver wet himself.
I can imagine he did. I mean,
I wouldn't mind the car he hit was all dented already. And I said, it doesn't matter. It's not a principle. So I said, someone's working.
Yeah.
Hopefully they'll sort it out because you know what bus it is. They'll have the camera because they have a camera on the bus now.
Yeah, so I understand.
So there's no way of them getting away with it. Have you got any of your neighbours got cameras?
Well, I filmed it.
Ah, so you're laughing, you sorted. Video evidence, and it'll also be on the bus as well.
Yeah, I mean, in fairness, I can't be absolutely 100% certain because I was filming from this side of the car. So I can see that the bus was doing a 60 million point turn, and I could see that it was incredibly close to the car. And when I looked at the car, then there's an area of cracked paint that's gone, which is exactly where the bus would have hit it. Now, that I suppose that's not definitive proof, but
yes, but as I said to you, you're laughing. If you videoed it, you'll have the time. You videoed it, and there's no excuse. You can say, "Well, play the video back then."
Yeah, but as I say,
on the bus,
it was taken from this side of the car. So
no, I don't mean you. I mean the video of the bus company.
Oh yeah.
Because you'll say, "Oh, it was that time," and you'll say, "Well, I believe there's video footage on the buses these days." Because you hear about it when I've been watching stuff crash for cash, and when people have to claim for falling off a bus or something, they'll play it back. Right. Show it then.
Well, we'll see what they come back with on Monday. We'll see.
Hopefully, you don't have to do what happened to me, claiming your own bloody insurance for some selfish guess.
I'm not going to claim on my own insurance. I'd just, if it came to that, I would just live with it. But hopefully, I shouldn't have to. It's it's only very, very minor. And
it's just annoying. I know accidents happen, but you don't mind if someone owns up.
To be fair, if it was an unavoidable accident, then I'd say, yeah, okay, don't worry about it. Shit happens. But when it's somebody doing something just unbelievably stupid, then I don't want to suffer because of their stupidity. And it was a stupid turn to make. I've got no idea what she was thinking of. But we'll see.
Hopefully it gets sorted anyway.
Hopefully we'll see what happens on Monday.
That was nice of Sean, though. So take it you're looking forward to your roast dinner tomorrow.
Oh, how much am I looking forward to it?
Oh, lovely then.
Oh God, yeah. I haven't had beef like that for ages. Not forever. I'm shitting myself about cooking it in case I balls it up. But yeah, I'm really, really looking forward to it. And I'm going to get about, 6 or 7 weeks out of that, I would say.
Oh, that's good, isn't it?
Oh, Sundays are going to be amazing for a while. But, yeah, I can't wait.
I also have to laugh at Emma's video when she said about her weight, but she wouldn't tell people the thing. And I said, well, if you want to lose £2, take the £2 out of your pocket.
Yeah, I watched that. And yeah, she.
And I left a message and said, well, Boaty doesn't need to lose weight with all the trumping he does.
She didn't want to admit to the weight, did she? And I just put my weight out there because if you're, I personally think that the only way to really deal with something is to face it. So I think that if you genuinely want to lose weight, then the best thing you can do is A, be open with the world about what you actually weigh, and B, do a food diary. And this is
you understand why though, because I know what people are on for the thing, and they've mentioned the weight. I know what people are like. They're not very nice.
This is the advice that I would give to anybody, and I have given it to people because we lie to ourselves about what we eat. And if you actually put a genuine food diary out there, and you genuinely put down everything that you stuff into your cake hole on a daily basis, it can shock you into changing your ways. Now, my Boo's daughter, my stepdaughter, the one that ended the relationship, she was totally in denial about her weight. She knew she was massive, don't get me wrong, but she said it's absolutely nothing to do with what I eat. It's genetic or blah, 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 blah. And I said, do a food diary for a week. And she said, yeah, okay, I'll do it. I've done this myself. I was an athlete. I had to do it. I had to be honest. And I used to, in the early days of my athletic career, I used to carry weight. and I was lying about what I ate. I had to do the food diary to be honest about it. So Boo's daughter did a food diary, and I went through it, and I said, "This is a lie. This is a lie. I saw what you ate that day. You haven't included this. You haven't included that." And she did one day of an honest food diary. And when she read it back the next day, she was so horrified by the amount of crap that she'd shoved in her mouth that that she, well, unfortunately, she went the wrong way and just decided that, oh no, I can't deal with that, blah blah blah. But hopefully, it's, if you do a genuine food diary, then it's a wake up call, and it will show you why you're the size you are. Because look, I'm a fat bloke, right? And if you're happy being fat, fine, great, not got a problem, not got a problem with that. But if you have got a, I don't believe that anybody's fine with being overweight, by the way.
No,
but
touch wood, I'm not. I eat quite a bit, but I'm still only size 32 waist.
Oh God, you're tiny. So if you've got a problem with your weight, and you genuinely want to do something about it, then be totally honest. And if you do a food diary, a genuine food diary, and then you look back at it, you will almost certainly see, there will be exceptions, but in 99% of the of cases, you will see why you're the size you are. Because there are two horrible things that people say to fat people like me, and they are horrible, but they're also based on truth. One is my old mother-in-law's phrase, "You don't get that size by sucking your thumb." And the other is, "You didn't see anybody coming out of Belsen overweight." Horrible things to say, but they are true. And it is absolutely true that some people have a tendency to carry weight. There are two types of fat cells that are brown and white fat cells, and it's a lottery as to which you're born with. If you've got a preponderance of white fat cells, you're probably going to tend to be fat. If you've got a preponderance of brown, you're probably going to be able to eat whatever the hell you want, do no exercise, and you'll still be thin. That's the lottery that you're born with. But even if you've got a tendency to carry weight, like I have, like my dad had, like my granddad had, my grandfather was an Olympic athlete, my father was a national champion athlete, I was an athlete, but we tend to pile weight on. We tend to carry weight quite naturally. But that doesn't mean that you can't lose it. It just means that you have to go over and above what another person has to do. And that means that you either have to be a little more stringent on your calorific intake, or you have to be a little bit more extreme on your calorific burn off. So in other words, compared to another person, you might have to eat a little bit less than them and move around a little bit more in order to achieve the same result. But anybody can achieve that result, I promise you that.
It is, though. It's partly because we're all lazy these days with having cars.
There's some truth in that.
Before we all passed our tests, we'd be walking around places.
I mean, you know, there is some truth in that. Certainly, obesity is obviously was a lot less prevalent when I was a kid. When I was a kid, there was a fat kid in each year in school, and the fat kid was known as the fat kid. And now, you couldn't name a fat kid. Half of them are, you know. So
I know a lot's changed. Like the gollywog or whatever it was, they're all named different now.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, that is that's a positive change. I grew up in a UK that was racist, and the fact that we are slightly less racist now, that's a good thing.
And now I was in the shop the other day, I felt sorry for the poor girl. She's about 28. There was 4 drunks in there. I didn't say anything, but when I left, I said to the girl, "You shouldn't have to put it with that." And I think she was made up. It didn't kick off.
Oh, right.
Because it didn't kick off, but it wasn't. You shouldn't have to put up with that when they're on their own.
No, of course not. No, of course not. But hey ho.
Anyway, sir, have a good evening. Are you any better today, sir, by the way?
Yes, I'm a little bit. I was better yesterday. I'm a little bit better again today. So we're moving in the right direction.
Oh, that's good. I watched about half an hour of you yesterday because I was watching something on the telly.
Oh, okay.
I managed to watch half an hour of the chat yesterday.
Oh, well, thank you very much for that. I appreciate it.
Okay, then. And today, well, I'll watch the full chat.
Brilliant. It's
I've
always
been catching up on the casualty.
Always a pleasure to have you.
No problem, sir. Enjoy your roast dinner tomorrow.
Oh, I'm going to. Thank you.
All right. Good night, sir. You all right, wanker?
Good night. Take care.
Good night, sir.
Oh, time is marching on, darlings. Time's marching on. We've got 7 minutes before we hit the time that we really need to go, and I do need to go because I'm planning tomorrow morning to get up at a sensible time. It was 11:30 today, darlings. Honestly, this lurgy, whatever it was, has knocked me about so much that now I'm starting to get a bit better. Then my body's just catching up on the rest that it needs. It obviously needs that rest. And today I didn't get out of bed until 11:30. I was feeling fine. I was just, and I wasn't consciously staying in bed. I think my body's just kind of catching up and recovering from the kicking that it's taken over the last week. So I've been feeling really poorly. I've been exhausted, and I've carried on and done everything that I normally do and everything that I have to do. And I think that I'm getting a lot of rest because it's kind of a little bit traumatic, isn't it? And the body's obviously trying to recover from that. But tomorrow morning, I do want to be up because I want to do full justice to that beef. So tomorrow morning, I want to get up. I missed the F1 qualifying today, so I want to catch up with that first thing in the morning. I've got a video to edit, and I've got Sunday lunch to make. Now, no filming tomorrow because there's no video going out on Monday, darlings. Live stream tomorrow night, live stream Monday night, but no film going out on Monday because I'm not filming anything tomorrow. I don't have time to edit it on the Monday. So yeah, so it's not going to be a late one tonight. Well, it's already a late one tonight, but it's not going to be a too late one. And I've just burned through another 2 of our minutes together. So let's try and plow through the comments. I'm aware that of late, I have to skim through the comments at the end of the night. It's, I don't know, it's lovely that there's so much interaction in the comments. It's lovely that I get the phone calls, but sometimes I can't just stay, and I'm sure you don't want me to, I can't stay here until 1:30 in the morning, finishing off the doing. So apologies if I miss comments, and, we'll just have to roll them forward until the next time. Right, where are we? Oh, the M11 is with us. The listing only just appeared for me at 23:33. How weird. Anyway, evening all. Hope we're all doing grand. What are you drinking, Boaty? Daisy Bowler sunglasses. Sainsbury's Taste the Difference Rioja Blanco, and very excellent it is too. On offer at the moment, otherwise I wouldn't be drinking it. It's too expensive. And I would thoroughly recommend it. Oh, Callum says, I asked because one of the guys on the farm has sleep apnea and uses a mask. It makes a big difference to him. Yeah, the CPAP thing, but they're not everybody can get on with them. Not everybody can get on with them. They can be tremendously effective. The CPAP basically means that you wear a mask and it constantly pressurizes the airway, hence CPAP. So it keeps the airway open with a constant pressure. And some people it suits very well, but not everybody. Again, hence this potential new treatment being such an exciting thing. Matron says, evening, no listing for me at all until the live started. Oh, I don't know what that's about. there were people here way before it started. And I set it up earlier this evening, as usual. Carl! The lovely Carl. Yes, everybody saying hello to Matron. What wine is that? Asked Carl Burton. It's Sainsbury's Taste the Difference Rioja Blanco. Very nice. Can you sing and drive like a bat out of hell at the same time, says Andrew. I often sing and drive. What on earth is that? Oh, God. Zeddy. Right. Oh dear. I assume that's Dylan Thomas, says Karen. It is. It was indeed. A few people didn't get a warning for the live. How odd. That new Prime Minister over there is a giant scrotum, says Karen. Sorry, there was some scrotum talk there. I'm trying to flick through the comments. Andrew says, I came on early tonight. The thumbnail had 11:30, but the time notification said 8:16 a.m. my time. Oh, maybe I buggered it up. I don't know. It must be really uncomfortable to have a scrotum, says Emma. I cannot imagine what it must feel like to have all that meat and stuff just dangling between your legs. You get used to it. Karen says, I ordered curry tonight. Yes, Momo. There's a Nepalese curry house here at the lake, she goes on. So I'm treating the hubby. Fantastic. Momo, amazing. Emma. Outrageous. We can't listen to the Archers here, says Cannon. I've tried and I get a message saying not available to non-UK. I thought BBC Radio was available worldwide. I'm sure it was. BBC Television, no, not on the iPlayer anyway. But I'm sure that BBC Radio is available worldwide. When I was spending a lot of time living in France, I could get BBC Radio, but I couldn't get BBC TV unless I used a virtual Dubry, a proxy network thing, VPN. And they do work very well. But I'm sure you should be able to get the Archers in America. Richard Burton suffered chronic back pain because of the booze, says Barry. Oh, yeah. I mean, when it comes to boozing, you're not going to beat Burton. I love the... there's a famous story when he was doing Camelot. Obviously, Richard Harris took over and did the film version. But originally, in the original stage version of Camelot, it was Burton and Julie Andrews. And he had a bet with other members of the cast that he could drink a bottle of vodka during the performance. Or was it a bottle of vodka in the first half and then another bottle of vodka in the second half? But that he could drink it during the performance and his performance wouldn't be affected. So the bet was set up, and Julie Andrews knew nothing about it, but she was the judge. And so Burton duly necked a bottle of vodka while performing on stage in, I think that was on Broadway, wasn't it? And at the end of the performance, in front of witnesses, he went to Julie Andrews and said, what was I like tonight, love? And she said, actually, a little better than usual. And there you go. Burton won the bet. He was an incredible boozer, an absolutely incredible boozer. the talk about when him and Richard Harris got together and they fell off their collective wagon. Oh my God, dear oh dear. The other story I love about Burton is when he went to his kids' school play, and he couldn't get through it without some vodka. So he had a flask, like it was a flask of tea. It actually contained vodka and tonic, and he poured it, and he would blow on it like it was hot tea, and then it was bloody vodka and tonic. Bless him, bless him. There was a man who put in some seriously plucky work with the right elbow. I don't know about Archer's access here. Can I just keep an eye on Emmerdale for you? Oh no, I don't care about Emmerdale. Same here, Karen, says Andrew. Certain UK programmes aren't available here in Australia, like Doctor Who. Yeah, but I thought radio was available throughout the world. I'm sure it's on the World Service. You're full of knowledge tonight, Mr. Boaty, says Jimmy F500. Oh, now we're talking about Doctor Who. Oh, Tom Baker was my favourite as well. Oh, gosh. Linda Hamilton and Sarah Michelle Gellar for me, says Barry. Oh, John, bless you. Glad you're going okay, mate. Glad you're going okay. Well, getting there anyway. I can't read that, Karen. I definitely can't read that. Sleep apnea is a horrible condition, says Karen, and yeah. No, says Emma. I've had people horrified at how much weight. I'm not lying to myself. I just don't want the humiliation from viewers because I know how cruel strangers can be to people on YouTube. Yeah, well, okay. I don't know. A part of me thinks that you think you're going to fail. Because if you don't lose the weight, then people will say you'll get all of the normal, oh, it's okay, you didn't need to lose any weight anyway, be happy with who you are. Whereas if you put it out there and say, right, this is what I weigh, you want to have a go at me, have a go at me. Fine, I'll take it because I am not happy with it. And I am putting it out there because I need to do something about this. And it's too easy not to do something about it. And by doing this, then I am inviting people to have a go because I know I need to do something. And this will force me to do it. And then the additional bonus to that is that when you do it, and if you believe you're going to do it, you're going to get all of the kudos in the world. But it's a very individual thing, isn't it? I mean, I've always had well, maybe not always, but I've got the idea now that, you are what you are and just put it out there. So when I did my weigh-in, I just put the weight out there. And if people want to give me abuse because of that, well, let them crack on. Let them crack on. What can they say? I've already said, look, I'm a fat bloke. I need to lose weight. So what they're going to say? You're a fat bloke. Yeah, I know. I told you that. That's why I'm trying to lose weight. You need to lose weight. Yeah, I know that. That's what I'm trying to do here. Are you not watching the video? You know what I mean? But each to their own. Diddly-doo, diddly-doo. Emma says genuine sugar addiction. Oh, she's talking about sugar addiction being the issue for her. Anybody with any addiction will understand. Boaty, if you had to give up wine and fags to lose weight, would you find that easy? Good question. If I had to give up booze and fags to lose weight, would I find that easy? Well, no, is the obvious answer. Well, no, I wouldn't. But it depends how much you want the thing that you're fighting for. Now, I wanted to be a world champion cyclist, and one of the problems was my weight. Um, I wasn't fat, not by any means, but cycling is a power to weight ratio issue. And in terms of a professional cyclist, I was overweight. My racing weight should have been about 12 stone 8, something like that. And I was like 13 stone 6 or something like that. And I knew that I would get the results that I wanted. I was successful, but I knew that I would get the extra results that I wanted if I lost that last bit of weight. So, was it easy to lose that weight? No, but I wanted the end result, so I just did it, um, and and I got the results, and it was totally worth it. So, I mean, to answer that question fully, if I had to give up wine and fags in order to lose weight, would I find it easy? No, I wouldn't find it easy, but I wouldn't do that. I simply wouldn't do that because weight loss is a two-way street. And I keep saying this. One side of the street is the amount of calories that you ingest. The other side of the street is the amount of calories that you burn off. Now, as a normal, relatively normal adult male, I am supposed to ingest, I don't know, somebody tell me, how many calories? I genuinely, I've got no idea what it is. I'll guess. I'm probably supposed to have, I don't know, 1,200 calories a day, something like that. When I was an athlete, I needed to ingest about 4,500 calories a day. I had to force myself to eat. All athletes do. Because you're doing so much more on the moving about side, you need to have more on the calorific intake side. So if I had to give up wine to lose weight, I just wouldn't. I'd keep drinking wine, but I'd go out and I'd do a shitload of exercise. And that would have the same result. So happy days. I don't have to give up wine and I could still lose the weight. I would just have to go out there and exercise. And exercise is a wonderful thing, darlings. Exercise releases endorphins in the brain, and the more extreme the exercise, the more extreme the endorphins are. And those endorphins from exercise are stronger than the endorphins from cocaine or other drug use or anything like that. So it kind of becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. When I was training, I used to love hurting myself because the more I hurt my body, the more my brain rewarded me by releasing incredible endorphins. And trust me, any professional athlete will tell you this. There is no high like the high from extreme exercise. Any athlete will tell you that, whether they're a cyclist, whether they're a boxer, whatever they are, there is no high like it. Chocolate doesn't do it, sex doesn't do it, cocaine doesn't do it. And that's why athletes have such a big problem in their life after being an athlete, because they're chasing that high that they got from that extreme exercise. So, and they'll try booze, they'll try drugs, they'll try sex, they'll try whatever, and they'll probably end up dying from it. That's why so many ex-athletes die early, because they're chasing that high. Tyson Fury is the perfect example. he can only maintain his mental equilibrium by training to a fairly extreme level. So, yeah, that's what I'd do. I'd keep drinking wine, but I'd go out and hurt myself. Honestly, if you think you can't lose weight, go out every day and walk a marathon. Go out and walk 26 miles. And when you get fitter, run the 26 miles or 20 miles or 10 miles. And if you go out and walk or run, fast walk, 10 miles a day, every day, then the weight's going to come off. I promise you. Or if you did what I did and go out and do and do what 500 miles on the bike a week, basic miles, before you do your proper training, the weight will come off no matter what you're shoving in there. It just happens. So there you go. Cuddy's here, we're going to eat, says Karen. If I never touched sugar again, says Emma, I would be thin. But like a lot of addictions, once I give it up, as soon as I try it again, I'm right back on it again and then struggle to give it up again. I'm very amused that Boaty is saying that he needs to end the live stream soon, and yet he hasn't even finished reading the comments that were left before he even started. And it's 12:25 a.m. now. God. Oh, God. Jimmy F500 says, oh, he agrees with me. BBC Radio is available outside the UK. IBD Warrior says, evening, Boaty, would you consider a dry, no alcohol October? That would help with the weight loss, old chap. Would I bugger? Would I bugger? Not a chance in hell. No way on earth am I giving up my bottle of wine in the evening. Again, to drive home the point that I've just been making, if anybody wants to challenge me to a weight loss challenge, I will take it on, but I will not give up the wine. I'll just exercise more. That's the beauty of exercise. You can eat what you want. You just know that, well, Emma asked me a question. If you had to give up wine, would you find it easy? No, of course I wouldn't. But, so, look at it this way. If you're looking at, I don't know, I don't eat sugar, right? I don't eat sugary things. I don't eat sweet things. And that's because I eat the odd thing now. But generally speaking, I don't eat desserts. I don't eat sweet things. I wouldn't give you a thank you for a bar of chocolate or anything like that, because I trained myself not to want those things. You know, you can train your mind, you can train your mind. If you need to, you can get hypnosis or something like that. But you can just tell yourself that you don't want to do these things. And the way that I did it was, let me put it this way. If you're genuine, or if you need to be genuine about your weight situation, so let's say you're a pro athlete, okay? Now, if you really want that slice of cake, or you really want that sugary donut, if you know genuinely inside that if I eat that donut, then tomorrow I've got to do an extra 40 miles on the bike and I've got to hurt myself, are you still going to want that donut? Or are you going to want to not put yourself through an extra 40 miles worth of pain? And that's why I did it. And that's why I don't crave sugary things now, apart from wine, which is pretty much pure sugar. But it's not the sugar I want, it's the alcohol. And if I was, I could drink vodka and low calorie tonic instead. The reason I drink wine instead of vodka is because vodka is too easy to drink and it's too easy to drink too much of. Everything's a slippery slope, isn't it? But but yeah, I try to be a bit careful about my diet. I try to be careful about portion size. But if it came to the absolute push, I would do what I've done before, and I would go overboard on the exercise side rather than give up something that is very dear to me, like a nice glass of wine. Now then, oh, let's get bloody hell. Oh God, it's 10-1. It's 10-1. Average male is 2,500 calories per day. Oh, there we are. There we are. When you're 67 and full of arthritis, fuck dieting, says Jimmy Quinn. And yeah, I would agree with that. I'm in the opposite camp, says Andrew. I'm skinny like a mop. Always have been. No matter how much I eat, I don't gain weight. You have a preponderance of brown fat cells over white. You lucky chap. Just to put it out there, says Emma, I can't do exercise or run because I have a prolapse. Maybe a bit too much info, but just so people understand, it's not as simple as just exercising for me. Oh, right. I don't know what that means. Okay, if you can't run, walk. You bloody ran faster than me in Matlock Bath. You didn't seem to have a problem with running then. The best all-round exercise in terms of exercising your whole body and burning calories whilst being kind on the body and the joints is swimming. Swimming is a wonderful exercise. You need some pleasures in life, Boaty. I agree with that. I haven't had a drink for over a week, Boaty, and I drink a lot more than you, says Jimmy Quinn. Oh, God, you're doing well there, then. Oh, dear. What about swimming, Emma? Can you swim? I mean, running is not a great exercise. I would never run as an exercise because it's an impact exercise and it can have very detrimental effects upon the joints, upon the knees and the hips and whatnot, especially if you're carrying a bit of ballast. That exacerbates that. But swimming is very low stress. So, yeah, can you swim? Swimming is a great thing, or even just walking. Walking is a jolly good exercise. Vigorous walking is better still. And again, it's about what you want. If you can't exercise, if there are physical reasons why you can't exercise, then if you're not bothered about your weight, fine, there's not a problem. But if you can't exercise and you are bothered about your weight and your appearance, then sorry, life's not fair. Then you just have to stop eating the things that are making you the size you are. And if that means cutting out on sugar, then you have to cut out on sugar. If you don't want to, don't. But if you want the end result, you have to go through what you have to go through to get the end result. It might not be fair. It might be easier for some people than others. But if you want the end result, you have to do what you have to do. It's as simple as that. If you want a degree and you happen to be academically talented, you can get your degree with no effort whatsoever. If you want to get a degree and you're a bit thick, then you're going to have to study really hard every night for 3 years or 4 years or 5 years, depending on the nature of the degree. Is that fair? No, but it's the way life is. So anything that you want within reason is achievable. But some people will have to make more sacrifices than others, and only you can decide whether the end result is worth the sacrifice that you personally have to make. And on that note, I'm going to go to bed. I'm crap at swimming, says Emma, but yeah, I have considered it. However, I'm a carer and have to be around her a lot, blah, blah. But I've considered fitting swimming in when and where I can. Yeah, I mean, you know, at the end of the day, God, we've got inured in this weight loss thing, haven't we? And let me remind you that I'm not preaching. Look, I'm a fat bloke. I'm an own-up fatty. I've put a YouTube video out there saying I'm a fat bloke, and I've proved it by standing on some scales and showing you my weight. So I'm not preaching. I'm trying to improve my figure, improve my appearance. Probably a waste of time when I'm an old bastard with half a baby's ass growing on my thing and I've got no teeth. But nonetheless, I don't like being overweight. I don't like the fact that I get out of breath when I run up the stairs. I would like to be a bit lighter than I am now. And I've been open about that, and I've put a video out there. Weight-wise, you're a cat, and cats are pointless, says Peter P. 14 stone 8. I'm 14 stone 8, darlings. That was a shock. That was a shock. 14 stone 8. Bloody hell. Bloody hell. Anyway, there we are. Time to say goodnight, innit? "17 stone, Jimmy?" No, I videoed it. I'm 14 stone 8 at the moment. And I would like to be quite a bit less than that. Oh, less than that in an ideal world. And do watch tomorrow's video where I took into a full English breakfast. But it is the last one. And I had to use up the stuff that was in the fridge and freezer. And I wanted to make at least one Boaty Saturday brunch video. There won't be any more coming unless it's a very special occasion. Boaty, can you lose weight doing the side shuffle and ram? Right, serious answer to that. A properly vigorous bout of lovemaking in terms of weight loss is equivalent to a 5-mile run. So yeah, if you really get into it, then lovemaking can be a very good exercise and a very good source of weight loss. And I've known more than one lady who has achieved their desired weight loss simply by having a more vigorous and frequent sex life. And that is absolutely no lie. That's an impact sport, right? Says Peter P. But yeah, seriously, sex can be a very good workout. Not for everybody. I mean, if you're a premature ejaculation in 3 easy steps, pump, pump, squirt type of character, then maybe not so good. But a proper session can be amazing. And again, to go back to my athletic career, we were not allowed to, partners were forbidden. We were not allowed to have sex when we were in full training for an event or during an event. It's still, as far as I'm aware, it is still the rule that partners are not allowed to be with the athletes when they are in the athletes' village or anything like that. If you watch, just watch a movie like Rocky, Women, Weaken Legs. It's true. It's absolutely true. And they were the one thing that your coach would be absolutely virulent about is that you're not allowed shenanigans. You are not allowed shenanigans. And we would go to all sorts of lengths in team hotels when we were on an event. Then you'll think I'm joking. This is true. Your team principal or the director sportif, as they were known, or your individual coach or your soigneur, they would come around and check on you in the hotel room. And if you were going off to have a bit of nookie with somebody, you had to, your room had to be in darkness and you had to put your pillows in your bed to make it look as if there was a body in your bed, so you would get away with it and you wouldn't get a raving bollocking the next day. I mean, I'll give you a bit of an insight thing. We were all at it. We were absolutely all at it. And it's different in these days of performance enhancing drugs. But in the past, if you look at old videos of cycling in the 1980s, in my era, and you see somebody have an inexplicable bad day, a really bad day in the mountains, they lose a load of time or something, and there's no obvious reason for it. And they'll say, oh, maybe he got the hunger knock, maybe this, maybe that. It's because they were shagging all night the night before. They got lucky with some local bird. If you were a pro cyclist in Europe, there was never any shortage of skirt, I can tell you that. And, some guy who's been deprived from his wife or partner or whatever for God knows how many weeks, a bit of available skirt comes up to the team hotel and say, oh, you're my hero, I love you. Yeah, get your clothes off, get into bed. And then 5 hours later, he's fucked the next day and he loses 5 minutes on the Col de Tourmalet. And the commentators can't explain it. His teammates all know because they heard the noises from the bloody room next door. And they saw the poor local bird walking out like John Wayne getting off a horse. Oh, dear. Right, that's it. It's 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm getting my supper. I'm going to bed. And thank you for your company tonight. It's been great fun as always. Join me tomorrow, earlier time tomorrow, 11 o'clock. Clack. And I can't be asked to say anything else. It's already way too late. I want my food, and that's it. Good night. Have a safe and peaceful night. Have a great day tomorrow. Take joy wherever you can from it. Take care of yourselves. And if you've got anybody who loves you or who you love, take care of them too. Good night. Goodbye. Hopefully see you tomorrow. But you, and indeed, boss.